James brought me a 1948 Dodge Power Wagon. Why don't we make it a dually?
I like where you're going with this. That's a good idea.
Bam!
Get to race Daniel, man.
Car versus truck, gas versus diesel. There's always been a beef between the two.
So all this stuff is gonna hold a lot of weight, so we really gotta beef this frame up and beef the suspension up.
I've been beating on this thing, and the front end of this car just needs completely rebuilt.
Feeling confident?
Yeah, I'm feeling confident you're gonna see a gold streak.
So I'm not gonna lose any money on you?
No. Man, I'm telling you, every time we had a piece to it, cooler and cooler.
Thank you, Jesus.
Mr. James!
What's up, Big D?
Good to see you, my
Good
brother.
to see you, my friend. Good to see you.
What you got here?
The old power wagon I was telling you about. What do you think?
Where's the rest of it?
I got it. It was all complete, so if you can do anything with it, I'll bring you the rest of it.
I can. James has been a good friend of mine for 4 or 5 years. He started out as a customer. They're just good people, and we worked on a lot of their stuff.
Some people you meet, you feel like you've known them all your life, and that's kind of the way me and Tommy's got along ever since the day we met.
It looks solid, man.
It is solid, very solid.
Hopefully the rest of it is in as good a shape as this cab.
It is.
James brought me a 1948 Dodge Power Wagon. This thing came equipped with a flathead 6-cylinder Continental engine. Basically, this thing was made for the farmer that he could use this to go to town in. He could use this to run a saw off the back of it. He could winch stuff with it. It had a gin pole. It had everything. So it was kind of like an all-in-one tool for the farmer.
It was all original, but ain't no fun to drive, you know.
No.
37 miles an hour.
Yeah, rough is a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need it comfortable for mom and the grandbabies and a little horsepower for daddy, you know. So,
Yeah.
We'll take that and turn it into something like this.
Well, I think we can make that happen, brother. This is a personal build because I really love James. I love his family.
I was gonna do it myself, but I needed a professional.
Well, when I find one, I'll let you know. I'll tell you what, if you promise to bring me the rest of it, I'm in. I'll do it for you. So what do you think? Maybe put a Cummins in it?
Oh yeah, definitely Cummins. Definitely Cummins.
So we'll just do our thing.
That's right.
Hopefully make you happy.
You always do.
Well, I think we got a deal, brother.
All right. I'm just waiting on that phone call to say, hey, James, it's ready. Come and get it. I'm going to bring Mama and the grandbabies, and we're coming. They're going to light up when they see this truck. I know they will. That's it. Good job.
No, I need to fix this right here.
Man, guys, are y'all ever gonna get that finished so y'all can help me?
Trying. Why, what you need?
James Crook brought us a 48 Dodge Power Wagon, probably the most solid truck for the age I have ever seen. So what he wants is power, he wants dependability, and he wants to be able to drive it anywhere. Take his wife, his grandkids, whatever, hit the key, and get some ice cream. When he dropped us off, he was pulling this truck with a 2018 Dodge Mega Cab Dually. And he said he wants this to perform and ride like his Dually, but still look like a 48 Power Wagon. So why don't we make it a Dually?
I like where you're going with this. That's a good idea. You know, that would definitely be a game changer.
Yeah,
I mean, makes sense for towing.
yeah.
All right, so we're definitely gonna have to beef up the rear, but he wants it to ride good and daily it, so I'm thinking 4-link it, do a coilover suspension, and then do airbags in the rear for helpers. That way we can have a nice soft spring back there, and then when he wants to tow something, air the bags up.
Good idea. It's got this old flathead 6-cylinder Continental engine, good engine, but he wants to make some power.
Yeah, that's definitely dated.
What do y'all think?
Obviously a 5.9.
5.9 common rail where we can adjust the power levels on the fly, get them good fuel mileage,
Yep.
make it really solid daily driver.
So what are you thinking about colors?
Not this.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now,
Oh, come on.
that needs to go.
I
That's not
do
good.
know the man likes white.
Why don't we make it match his truck?
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
And then why don't we go farther with that and make the interior match his truck?
Oh, that's a good idea. Black fenders.
I like the black fenders. It breaks it up.
Yeah.
Let's get this cab off, get this engine off this frame, and then my favorite part, getting that yellow off of here.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, let's
Let's
get
do it.
busy. Bam.
I'll start getting the battery out of the way, gearbox out of the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the doors off, getting everything off the cab that we can to help lighten it up. Perfect.
Is that the original floor jack for this truck? When you have a flat, like that's what you got out?
Yeah, it looks like it, man. It's still in
I've
here.
honestly never seen one that old before. It's even got the original hand crank in here. You know, they had electric start, but whenever that failed, that's what they used to start the engine back in the day.
Hey!
We're taking out the clutch and brake pedals right now so we can lift the cab up, get it off this frame.
Gonna go slow.
Should be revised right now. Let's disconnect that drive shaft, pull our motor mounts, chain up the engine,
Get it out.
take it off. Now that we got our engine and transmission off, we're gonna strip the rest of the frame all the way down, have it sandblasted, and start putting this thing back together.
Yeah, engine time makes me happy. Man, we got a beautiful white, pearl white 5.9 Cummins. This is going in the 48 Power Wagon. We're actually putting a brand new 5.9 crank in it. Never been in anything. But I still like to double check and make sure everything is clean. It's very important, it's very crucial that we do that so we can spin this thing to the moon. Okay, now the fun part. Now this is something that I'm getting a little too old to do, but I still do it. I still got it. I don't know for how long, but I still got it. Feels really good. I like it when they spin easy. It makes me happy. So, opposed to a gasoline engine which requires spark, a diesel ignites the fuel from compression. That's the difference between a gasoline and a diesel engine. You can make more torque with a diesel, especially inline diesel engine, than you can a gasoline engine. Some gun is smooth as glass. That's exactly what we're looking for. All right, now we're gonna install our cam and make sure our timing marks line up. So we're gonna put this dot in the middle of these two dots. That ensures us that when this turns, it's gonna open the valves when they're supposed to open and close the valves when they're supposed to. We're gonna stand it up. We're gonna start installing our pistons. So what we'll do, we'll stick our top ring in. I've got my second ring on this piston. So what I'll do is I'll slide this piston in up to that second ring. It'll make sure it's perfectly square in that cylinder. We've got our ring, we've got it in here square and true. We're gonna check our ring gap. So as you build heat in this cylinder, the piston grows and this ring grows. And what happens is if your gap is too tight, it will butt the ring. And when it does that, it will actually make the ring buckle and you'll get scarring up and down on your cylinders, robbing you from compression, performance, all the things that you need to make this as efficient as possible. The specs on the Cummins is 14 to 16 thousandths. The way we spin them, we spin them more RPMs than what Cummins had designed them for. We put more fuel, we put more air to them. So our rings are gonna grow more than a stock engine will. And that number, that's a secret.
We've only had this Power Wagon for a little while, and my dad said James, the owner, wants to change this build up, which in this business can mean a lot of things. Hey, Mr. James, how you doing?
Pretty good. How y'all doing?
Oh man, we're blessed but stressed. You know how it is.
I know how that is. Blessed and stressed. That's a good way to put it.
Exactly right.
I wanted to run something by you, see if you might pull it off for me. Before, I probably might not have been able to afford it, but we've been blessed. The good Lord been blessing us with the work, and I'd love to make that old truck into a double cab.
Now you're talking. You want to make it a 4-door?
Yes, sir. If that's something y'all can pull off.
I know we can pull that off, and I think that'd be a sick build. You know, a 4-door dually power wagon. I've never heard of one or seen one in the world, so it would definitely be a one-of-one truck.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is that'd be my dream truck.
I actually know a guy that he specializes in power wagon parts. Like, he mentioned that he can make a 4-door power wagon. He has the dies and can stamp it. So he can tack it together. All we gotta do is a little bit of finish welding, body work it, and paint it.
If y'all can pull that off, let's do it.
I know we can. And you know, Mr. James, we're gonna make this happen for you, and you'll have a one-of-a-kind truck.
I can't wait. Y'all gonna knock it out of the park. I know you are.
All right, bye. Extending the cab on the 48 Power Wagon would have taken a ton of fabrication. And don't even get me started on trying to make the doors line up, fit, and open properly. We saved a ton of time on finding a company that can stamp it out of steel. This thing comes with a cab, bed, and a frame.
They were all hand built before this. Now it's a newly stamped product. Ready for you guys to turn it into a work of art.
He's gonna love it.
I can't wait to see it in a 4-door dually.
It's
I'm
gonna
telling
be
you, it's gonna
slick.
be awesome.
I'm excited. Even though we're using a stamped cab, we're still using a ton of parts off the original 48 Power Wagon. Getting them to fit is a lot easier said than done.
Mine goes in first. We are trying to use as many of the original parts as we possibly can. We're going to pre-assemble to make sure our gaps are good. We don't have to add a bracket, take a bracket away. The last thing we want to do is paint it, then try to put it together and it not line up the way it's supposed to. Now we done chipped or scratched our brand new paint job. So far, everything is lined up. That's a good thing. You ready to try the hood?
Might as well. See how this baby lines up.
And that's a great big no. Radiator support needs to go forward, way far forward.
And it looks like it's setting up too high. This bolt here don't line up.
There's our problem. That explains why the hood is overlapping. Yeah, that would open the gaps every direction. See, we're pretty much already touching.
And look at this one. This one right here is a lot more farther forward on this side, and this one here is back, which you can see it's rubbing over there.
And we're also overlapping.
That's exactly what we don't want right here, is that rubbing.
I think our mount is too high. Mount goes down, hood goes forward. That's what we're looking for. So we're gonna cut our bracket, make some adjustments, and see if we can't get the front end of this truck squared away so that we don't scratch or chip it when we reassemble it after it's painted.
One of the really cool parts of having a custom shop in Texas is there's a lot of different shops building completely different things, but we share the same passion. Daniel at Wide Open and I, well, we both love to go fast.
Hey, what's up, Chase?
Oh man, you know, just living the dream. After months of texting and calling, we're ready to stop talking and start racing.
So what's up, man? What you calling for?
I've been wanting to see what we're gonna do about this diesel versus gas, gas versus diesel race. You know, just get a little input.
You know, anytime I'm in the shop and someone wants to call me about racing, I'm always down to talk about that, man. It just gets my blood flowing. What are you bringing, first of all? That's what I need to know.
Well, you know, I got the first truck I've ever had. You know, it's the 2001 Dodge Ram 2500.
Okay, you're talking about the four-wheel drive.
The four-wheel drive, full weight, the Funky Monkey.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I just gotta show you what this thing's capable of.
Oh, man, sounds like I got my work cut out for me.
Hey, listen, you're gonna have your hands full, though. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't even know what I'm racing, honestly. What am I racing?
You know, a little first-gen Camaro, you know.
Oh, yeah? Old school, huh?
Ain't nothing special under the hood. You know, something we pulled out, you know, from the broken field of dreams, you know.
Is that thing got nitrous or turbo? I mean, what do you got?
Man, it's got an old junky turbo off our RV.
Junky turbo off. Okay. All right, I know better than that. You know, this is gonna be great, Daniel, to see, you know, a diesel truck versus a gas car.
Oh, hey, I tell you what, we got fans on both sides on that one, I bet.
Oh yeah, and on top of that, a 6,500 pound diesel truck, you know. I don't know what your weighs, you probably ain't gonna tell me, but I'm an open book. This thing's heavy, but it makes a lot of power.
Well, before dinner, it's a little bit lighter. After dinner, she's a little bit heavier. You know, here in Texas, it's always been a clash of trucks versus cars. You know, there's some absolutely fast trucks out there, especially all-wheel drive trucks. And it's making us, with our two-wheel drive, harder and harder to keep up with them. I mean, they're steadily changing the game, so there's always been a beef between the two.
All right, bro. I'm gonna get started on this thing. You get started on yours. You let me know when you're ready, and we'll pick a day.
Hey, gasoline to the front.
All right, let's do it, bro.
All right. Later, brother.
Later. Doing this is good to get the monkey back out, good to keep me on my toes, and kind of just, you know, work through problems as we go. That's part of racing. And it's always a fun day to get out on the track and, you know, push these things to the limits. So basically, One Way Diesel got its start from my first truck, old Funky Monkey. This is my first diesel truck I ever bought to start modifying. I've had this truck for 13 years and it just keeps getting faster and faster. You know, it started at 235 horsepower and it's making a whopping 2,730 horsepower. This truck has a real dated nitrous system. I really didn't have any money when I started this project. It needs an update. I'm gonna start removing all the old nitrous off and start running our new main feeds to both sides for our solenoids. What we have, it's a perfect place to put our nitrous. You know, you always have to have the nitrous bottle easy to get to. And just in case it overpressurizes, explodes. Does Daniel know I have this? I don't know. Am I gonna tell him? Probably not. All right, so I'm gonna get all the old nitrous stuff off, remove this line, and start running the new feed line for our new nitrous setup. You know, there's no risk of not enough nitrous, but there is a huge risk on too much nitrous. Sometimes you can detonate, you can explode with too much nitrous. Nitrous condenses the fuel and air in the cylinder, allowing for more. You know, the more nitrous we do, the more explosive it is. That's why we use it. All that is an advantage to make more horsepower. All right, there's our new bottle holders. These are bigger nitrous bottles than what it had before. You know, it only had an 8-pound bottle. I got 10-pound bottles now, so I'm gonna have to modify this bracket so it sits a little lower and I can clear it and get it in there to, you know, so I can hide it in the bed. Oh, like a glove. Daniel just does not think this truck is capable of even getting close to his car. You know, just getting in his realm is gonna make him realize that, oh, hey, you know, this guy's doing something. But when I drag that rear end, he's gonna know. We don't play around over here.
Okay. This thing's a little dirty. I don't know why. It's not like it's 100 years old or anything.
Only the Lord knows when the last time this bolt was taken out. That, my friends, is on there. We got the old Power Wagon frame here. Well, there's a few more parts off of it that we wanted to take off. We wanted to use the original bumper and the winch. We're gonna try to retrofit it to the front of the new frame, keep some originality, and use some good old parts that were iconic off this truck.
Ah, that's gonna be a bit of a problem.
A Power Wagon was a very versatile truck. It had winches front and back, and it was very strong, could pull anything it needed to. It could pull itself out, your tractor that you got stuck, or any of your buddies out if you needed to. It was just such a good workhorse. So I'm gonna try to get this thing off, get it cleaned up, looking pretty, and get it on the new frame.
Come on, buddy. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get this ratchet in here.
Okay, this thing's a little heavy. Hey, Chase, can you help me get this bumper off?
These winches are super heavy, but they're super strong. You know, they got a cast iron gearbox. And we're gonna run this one off of hydraulics. So we'll have another little hydraulic motor that goes on this shaft and turns the winch. So the Power Wagon's front bumper and the winch is just an iconic, like when somebody sees that, they automatically know what, you know, what they're looking at, that it's a Power Wagon. And then when you look at this, brings you back to 1948. As you'll see through this build, we got a ton of the original parts we're using for this 1948 Power Wagon. You know, these new wheels and tires we're going with are a 13.5-inch wide tire. That's gonna put our wheel and tire right about there. So we've got to fill in a huge gap, and we got to make it look good. We keep these fenders in stock. You know, we use a lot of these to do wheel wells and stuff like that. And to get us close, we can modify one of our factory fenders, weld them together, make one fender out of them.
This is already pre-drilled, so I know it matches up with the bed perfect. We're gonna set this fender inside of this fender. As you can see how much wider. Take 2 ratchet straps, suck the fender together. Notice this is round, this is flat. So now I have to cut this and make it flat. So I'm gonna run a tape line, get my grinder. Now we're gonna make some noise. As you see how much wider the fender flare got. That's why you wanna make sure you keep the right angle so that when your fender goes back in, it's still at the right angle. Now we'll go around, tighten the other side up to get the gold wing back in. Now we no longer need this piece. So let's see if we can fish this inside of this. Put her in place. Now we have this ready to weld in. So we're gonna cut this one down here, here, and that forms the fender to keep from spreading back open, we hope. Plate. We now have our dually fender. We'll get it inside, see if we unstrap it, make sure it holds. Okay, fellas, I believe we got a wiener. Time to start on the other one.
Should be clicking. You know, if we're not building monster trucks here at Wide Open Garage, we're drag racing. You know, my dad, my uncle, they all done it, you know, in their younger ages, and they kind of passed it on to me. You know, as a child, they took me to the track, did a little street racing, you know, and I just can't get enough of it. Just like that. During peak season, we're almost racing every day. So I've had this first-gen Camaro for about 4 years now. And I tell you what, these cars are getting harder and harder to find. I begged a friend of my dad's for many years to get this car. Man, this car was rough. There was no rear end, there was no back half of the car, and basically me and Dad built this thing from the rear end to the front. This engine is out of a daily driven 2500 Chevrolet truck, a basic store-bought build, nothing too crazy. Me and Dad built the whole turbo setup on it. So due to the gentleman grudge race me and Chase have, I don't feel too inclined to tell you all the secrets and, of course, the horsepower. But I want to say it's anywhere from 800 to 1,500 horsepower. I've been beating on this thing. Me and Dad been going racing week in and weekend out, and the front end of this car just needs completely rebuilt. The ball joints, the upper control arm bushings. We're gonna get Dad and his brother in there, and they're gonna knock this front suspension out for me, make sure everything's 100.
We're removing the upper control arm. This is the stock control arm. This is the aftermarket control arm. It's chrome moly, much stronger, and it's lighter.
You know, when it comes to street racing, it's not always about who has the most horsepower. You know, it's the driver, it's the tune-up. If you got 2,000 horsepower but you can't use it, it does you no good. There we go.
Okay.
We got the upper lower control arm in. We got the spring in. And we can put the shock on, we can put the caliper on. Actually, it's going pretty smooth. Sometimes, you know, you tackle these jobs and they take a while. Me and Bob got this wrapped up. Wheels are on, shims are back in, front end's greased. Seems very tight. I think she's gonna go down the road good. Ready to drop this, D?
Yeah. Perfect.
Happens every time.
Yep. You know, since Chase called me out, we need to make sure this car's ready to go because we're gonna give it our all. We're gonna service the transmission and just go over the whole car and see if we see anything. You know, you don't wanna go out on the track and wreck. I mean, at 150, 160 miles an hour, things happen very fast.
You want to clean this off real good so it seals up. Does look pretty good now.
Yeah. Little preventive maintenance. All right, now we just got to drop it down and fill it back up full of fresh fluid. Yeah, you know, win or lose, I like Chase. It's going to be fun.
You know, there's a reason they named him Chase, because he's going to be chasing us.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
We're good to go, buddy. I don't see no leaks.
The 48 Power Wagon didn't come with dual wheels on the back, so we're gonna make it a dually. And making a custom axle cradle for the airbags and the 4-link bars. That'll be the foundation for the suspension on this truck.
We'll get it stenciled out, we'll get it cut out, and we'll start fabbing it up. Kindergarten paid off. All right, I just cut everything out for my axle cradle. It's gonna be real big, it's gonna be real beefy. It ought to match the truck perfect. So I got everything cut out, got everything grinded down. I'm gonna start tacking everything in place. This axle cradle is gonna have a roll to it. It's gonna match the truck. So I'm gonna take a piece of flat plate, cut it to length, and I'm gonna tack it in a certain spot, and then I'll just start bending the piece of plate over with a little bit of heat. And it should match this roll just perfect. I got it all tacked up. We're gonna throw it onto the axle, get our measurements, get it level. I think it looks good, so I'm gonna get this sucker tacked in, and then we'll start working on the front. I just finished up fabbing up the axle cradles. I'm gonna start cutting all these 4-link tabs. We'll get them cleaned up, then we can throw them on the truck, and we'll have a 4-link set up. All right, we got the 4-link bar right here, our Heims, and of course our tabs. These tabs will weld to the axle cradle on one end, and then it'll weld onto the cross member on the frame on the other end. And it should lock down this axle nice and tight. Tack her in one time.
Go ahead and hit it. That's what it is. On this 48 Power Wagon, we have to make sure the suspension is super strong. So all this stuff is gonna hold a lot of weight. So we really gotta beef this frame up and beef the suspension up.
Hey, give me a new tack right there.
Yep, thinking the same thing. One of the reasons we're doing a triangulated 4-link on this truck is because the beds are flat on the frame. There's no room on the rear of these trucks because, I mean, just straight up, your axle, your frame, your body, your bed, everything's just so tight and compact on these trucks. So we're trying to utilize anything we can to keep the rear end stable, but also get plenty of travel and get a good ride.
I think it looks good. All right, bottom bars. We just got our 4-link bars tacked on the top of the axle cradle. We found a nice spot where I want my bottom bars to run, so I made a stencil. I'm gonna transfer it over to metal, get it cut out, and we'll get it tacked onto the truck, and we'll have a 4-link set up on the back of this truck. I'm gonna cut these tabs out of some 3/8 plate. You know, it takes a lot to move this thickness of plate. By the time the tabs are welded out, we got the bolts running through. Everything should be working together. It's gonna make everything strong. It should hold up to this big, heavy truck.
We're gonna weld it to the frame, something like that, and reinforce it. This truck's gonna tow a lot of weight. You know, James is gonna put a ton of weight on the rear of it. We've gotta build this thing super strong. Today's a big day. Get to race Daniel, man. I'm super excited. It's always a pleasure to get out and actually, you know, enjoy our work. You know, it's not just about winning or losing. It's about the love for this industry and making a diesel go fast. You know, that's what we live to do. That's what we're here to do today. So we're gonna find out if old
first-gen Camaro's gonna take it home or Chase's Dodge. You know, any opportunity to get out the shop, we're all over that. You know, me and Chase, we just, you know, stacked with work. We never have any free time, especially fun time. So win or lose, I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter to him as much as it matters to me, as long as we're having fun.
What's going on, Daniel?
Hey, man.
Good to see you, man.
Hey, I'm just glad we're both out the shop, man.
That's no lie. I am exhausted, man.
I'm telling you, man. I know you're gonna swing for it. I already see your nitrous bottles
I'm
over
gonna
there.
swing for the, I mean, you know me. How do you want to do this?
Man, you know, I do the no prep street racing. You know, we go straight off the trailer. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, man, me too. You know, that's what we're about. Let's do it, man.
You know, I'm out here to show my support. I'm out here to, you know, to see a really good race. Hopefully it's a really tight race. What's happening?
What's happening, Bill?
Hey, bro. Good to see you.
You know, Chase, One Way Diesel, I definitely got my money on them. How you feeling? You feeling confident?
Yeah, I'm feeling confident. You just got to watch real close, man. You're just gonna see a gold streak.
So I'm not gonna lose any money on you?
No, you good. I just hope you didn't bet on them, man.
All right. What's up, fellas?
Hey, Bill. What's up, Bill?
Wide open garage. I might have some money on them too, so is my money safe with you guys?
Gas is the way to go. You already know this. Diesel gets you to the track, not on the track.
Either way, they both know how to talk about racing, and I know they both know how to build a race car. So it's gonna be a good race today, and I'm really excited to see what happens.
You know, I've been racing for about 8 years, hardcore on the track, but never know what you're going to come up against. You know, I've never seen Daniel's car run. He's never seen mine run. I don't know what mine's going to do because, I mean, I've changed the configuration on it 100 times. So this configuration, I've never had it down the track, but I know it's going to be fast.
These guys with these trucks are just progressing and progressing and progressing. Car versus truck, gas versus diesel. There's always been a beef between the two.
Anytime there's a friendly rivalry going on, it's time to come out and watch them.
This is a very unique matchup here because you have a diesel truck, which is going to weigh twice as much as the Camaro, and they have completely different power plants. So is lightweight and speed going to work, or is all-wheel drive and torque going to work?
I think it's anyone's game, really.
That was not what I expected or what I wanted, but that's part of racing. You know, I had him out of the hole, everything was going my way. You know, I accidentally shifted it into neutral. Sometimes these are the consequences off of just racing off the trailer. No test passes, you don't know what it's gonna do. Man, it's just part of it. You know, at the end of the day, this is diesel versus gas, you know, gas got it today.
You know, I always like to go straight off the trailer. The type of racing I do, that's how we do it. We don't get a test pass. I had way too much power in my car. I had to pedal it. You know, I had to drive it. You know, and Chase had problems, so it worked out in my favor. It's horrible when you drive 5-6 hours to go racing. You go out first round or car's not acting right, transmission's not acting right, but that's the name of the game, you know, and that's the price we pay.
Hey, that was a good run, man.
Hey, I'm telling you, somebody got to have problems. We both can't have perfect days.
I'm telling you, I know, man. You got your car dialed in. Hey, that thing's on a rail. I'm impressed. I knew y'all could do it, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
But we're going to line back up. I do have to sort through that shifter issue, but I
You
had
already
fun.
know. Just call me. I come help you. I know we're
I know
both
you
on
do,
a time
man.
crunch, but hey,
Love
you know
that,
I'm
man.
down.
Thank you.
If Chase wants to go again, all he has to do is call me. He knows I'll be there. At the end of the day, we're all friends and family. You know, it doesn't matter to me who wins. I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna help him fix his truck so we can do it again.
The Power Wagon's body worked and primed. Now we can spray on that beautiful pearl white paint. It's gonna be all white, but with tuxedo black accents.
All right, so we're not done yet. Got 3 good coats of white, the base. Now we're fixing to start putting the pearl to it. As you can see, the color change difference from a solid white to actually a pearl white. And when the sun hits it, this sucker is gonna pop like you would not believe. So for the accent color, we went with a tuxedo black, and that's what's really gonna set this thing off. We got Mr. James's original 48 Dodge Power Wagon front bumper. This truck is just gonna be so unique, it is unbelievable.
So we sent the frame off to get it blasted and powder coated. We did a pearl white powder coat. I mean, it stands out. It's different than what we normally do, and it's gonna be super unique. Can't wait for James to see this. This is gonna be heavy. Bump it up, Chaz. All we gotta do is roll it under there, right down. All right. This thing is huge. You know, seen it sitting on the lift, but I mean, it looks cool. Now that we're on the lift, we're gonna get the axles under here, start putting our 4-link bars together, install the engine and transmission. Man, I'm telling you, every time we add a piece to it, it looks cooler and cooler. I mean, the way everything's contrasting together with the white and the black with the pearl in it, man, it just looks amazing. Go down, go down, go down.
Okay.
That's good enough to move it. Dude, that is sick, bro. Y'all ready? Yep, go.
1, 2, 3.
Go, whoa, y'all gotta go way over. Right there, down. I'm lined up over here. So what we decided to do on the 48 Power Wagon was keep it real simple. You know, we went with a single turbo. It's a S467, triple the size of a factory turbo, custom spec for this truck. So we're shooting for that 650, 750 horsepower goal. This Charger will achieve that. Clay, let's get the intercooler, radiator combo up here with the core support, kind of fit everything up, get our measurements so we can start getting everything ran and mocked up for our intercooler piping.
What are we looking at?
14.5 inches to the middle of that, so.
We got plenty of clearance to go over there.
Plenty, man.
Our
Plenty.
radiator hoses and everything.
Just go like that, come right here, just straight off, look, boom. 13.5. Perfect, man. I'll get these intercooler piping measurements to Chaz, get this thing knocked out.
It's amazing. It's awesome to wake up every day and go outside and work with your family.
And they've always supported any crazy, stupid things. For the most part.
Mostly.
For the most part.
Yeah, we do get on each other's nerves sometimes.
You were trying to save that?
Yeah, I was gonna straighten it back out and weld it back on there.
It's already broke. I know what buttons to push and what buttons not to push. It's great to have that.
Still does it.
Yeah.
Chase's button is...
If you're not making money, there's a button.
That's a good button.
You know, there's a little bit of fighting, and then we go home and we just don't talk to each other. No, just kidding.
No, we usually do, actually.
Kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, sometimes I don't, because I'm busy.
Yeah, you're too busy for Clay.
I got kids.
Whatever.
Is it lighthearted?
Sometimes.
Not this good.
You know, at the end of the day, it's a blessing for us to all work together as a family unit. Whatever goal that we've set, get it accomplished. You know, this build was personal for me. The 48 Power Wagon, I'm so excited about getting this thing done. Man, but seeing this thing come together, it's awesome. I'm just so proud of what we're giving James back. I'm beyond excited. Oh, no.
What y'all doing, Clay?
Not much, Mr. James. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm pretty excited to see how Tommy and Chase and Clay pulled it off, and I want to find out. I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
You ready to see it, Mr. James?
Yes, sir. I'm ready to see it.
Man, I can't wait to see the look on your face. This thing is so big, massive, and beautiful. We got to use the big door for this.
Gonna have to use the big door?
Yeah.
Hey! Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Oh, man. Man, my first impression when I seen the truck, I didn't even get in the door, and it rocked my world. I didn't even see you.
Mr. James.
Hey, You outdid yourself.
That excitement right there makes my day. I'm telling you right now.
That is exactly what I want. That's why I trust you guys. Dang, man. This is just a truck. But, man, you made my dreams come true.
You definitely mixed it up on us in the last minute, but we were able to get everything together and give you exactly what you wanted.
You know, one of the first things you can notice is we kind of added some extra doors.
Yes, sir.
Something that you really, really wanted.
I wanted it, and everybody said it wasn't possible, but y'all did it. Y'all knocked it out of the park.
We also kept a lot of the original Power Wagon. You know, we got the original iconic winch and bumper, and the whole front clip is off of your original 1948 Power Wagon.
I know you wanted to mimic your 17 Dodge Mega Cab, so we went with a pearl white and a tuxedo black accents on your fenders and stuff.
Yeah, and they didn't make fenders wide enough for this, so we had to extend some, make some custom ones for you.
I noticed the fender being wider, but that takes a stance.
Yep.
You think it looks good in here? Wait till we get it outside and the sun hits it, it dances.
I ain't never been one to polish on nothing, but I might have to learn, you know.
You're gonna have to on this one.
Well, we know you like to pull some heavy stuff, so we did a really beefy 4-link system in the back and the front. Dually upgraded axles, so you can pull to your heart's content and not have to worry about anything breaking and keep this thing doing what it was meant to do and work.
You nailed it.
We had to keep this thing real functionable for you. So we went with the air ride suspension. You know, you want that good look, that tough look, you know what I mean? But you can also let the truck down, get your family in and out easy, but you can raise it back up with a click of a button.
I'm just so pleased. I'm so happy, you know. I don't want to brag or anything, but I'm tickled to death. It's mine.
All right, Mr. James, you gotta come check out what's under the hood of this 48 Power Wagon, because it ain't nothing like it used to be back in 1948.
Oh, man.
That right there is a 5.9 common rail. And you know, that turbocharger is definitely not stock. You know, that thing's pushing about 55 pounds of boost, making about 750 horsepower.
All right.
I know you're gonna use every bit of that.
I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna try it.
You can see all the custom little touches we did. The valve cover, all the intercooler piping.
I never would have dreamed just white on the engine, man. That stands out.
Well, Dad definitely knocked it out of the park on this.
He did.
Every nut and bolt on there, he had his hand on it, and he made sure it was perfect.
Oh, man, this is beautiful.
On this engine, we picked the perfect setup. You know, a lot of horsepower, but not too much, you know what I mean? You still got to be able to drive it, take the family out, have cruise control, and have good street manners, and I cannot wait to see him drive it.
Oh, man.
We did a beautiful chocolate color interior for you. Try to mimic that Longhorn look. Did some custom stitching for you.
Hey, you got my logo on here.
Yes, sir.
My bullhorn on the seat. Oh, man, look at the room in it.
Kind of looks like it was just made for you, James. You look perfect in there.
When the door opened, I wasn't expecting the truck to look like this. Y'all have outdone yourself. Outdone yourself.
I'm really glad you like it.
I was dreaming, but I mean, this is better than dreaming. It's way more than I expected.
To see the smile on your face makes, you know, everything that we went through to get this done well worth it.
It makes the days and nights worth it. It makes it worth it. All right.
Now you got to get out there and take them grandbabies for a ride.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I can't thank my guys enough, the ones that stayed late, the ones that worked, you know, by our sides through this whole build. And I just want to thank James and his family for trusting us to, you know, build this for him. I'm glad and happy that he got what he needed, got what he wanted, and it couldn't went to a more deserving guy.